Hey, are we doing it?
We're here.
Yeah!
Yay! Finally, we got here. Hey, everybody. Hey. It's your old pal Wembley and my friend Liz. Hey,
Hey,
Liz.
everybody. Hey, Wembley, what's up?
I'm all right. I'm quite all right. So, today's our first episode. Yay! It's really nice of you to join us, Liz. You did a
I
lot of
am
work.
thrilled to be here.
Aw, we're happy to have you. So, today, we want to go on a journey with Liz. Yeah. hmm We want to know, how did Liz become a puppeteer?
Wow. Well, we could start way far back. I've been building props really my entire life. Started in elementary school and did a lot of theater in high school, working in Minneapolis, which is where I grew up.
Oh,
I
okay.
started interning there at the Children's Theater Company, building a bunch of props for a really
Mhm.
great regional theater. And then in high school, I saw this great show. Have you ever heard of the Improbable Theater Company?
I did. That silly
They,
guy who follows me
yeah.
around said something about it.
Yeah, there's this great company in London, and they did a show called Shock-Headed Peter, which was a bunch of crazy German nursery rhymes in
hmm
which all the kids die,
Yeah,
and it's hilarious. And all these little puppet kids, I know,
that's
it's
horrible.
pretty horrifying.
It is.
Yeah, one little girl lights herself on fire because she's playing with matches. Another
Oh,
boy gets his thumbs cut off because his mother told him if he didn't quit sucking his thumb, the tailor would come cut his thumbs off, and he bleeds to death.
oh my.
But it was
It's the
adorable
lesson
because
learned. Don't play with matches or
yep,
knives
yep,
or cross the street when you're not looking.
and
You'll get run over.
And it was just the coolest show I've ever seen. And I thought that is what I want to do with the rest of my life. I want to make weird puppets and have them do horrible things on stage. And everybody was laughing. And I was like, this is going to be my life from now on.
Oh,
So that was
that's a good
kind of the
place to
beginning.
start. That's the beginning. That's a great beginning.
The beginning is a very
I
good
had a
place to
look.
start.
Yeah. I had a look at those. They're pretty wild. So, we talked about some stuff you did, some pretty awesome stuff with a little company called Sesame Workshop.
Yeah, I have been building with Henson since I was 19 years old. Um, I got an internship when I was in college, and I got to the first big project I got to work on was Little Shop of Horrors when it went to Broadway. And
Oh,
the designer for that is uh, Martin P. Robinson, who you may know as Mr. Snuffleupagus.
oh yeah, I do. I love Martin's hair.
Yep.
I
And
think I look awesome with
he
the hair.
does. You would look really good with that hair.
I think so.
You should start growing it now so it'll be
I don't know if I
ready in a
can.
couple of years.
I don't know. I don't know if this stuff I'm made out of can
You
grow.
have to think real hard about
Imagination.
it. And I know a couple places where you can order some hair like that. So
Oh, yeah,
that's a good thing about working about Henson.
that may work.
But yeah, so I've been working at Henson because I worked on that production. Marty really kind of took me under his wing and became a really great mentor and now friend. And I was working with him on Sesame Street. Also, there are just so many wonderful mentors at Henson. Uh, when you are a puppet builder, there's not really a lot of places that you can go to learn that kind of work. There's the
It's true.
University of Connecticut and Cal Arts, but pretty much everybody just has to learn either on their own or from mentors. And
Yeah.
so when I started building at Henson, there are just a ton of people that took me under their wing to teach me everything that they know. Raleigh Cruson in particular is an amazing builder that has been there over 40 years, I think. And Connie Peterson, and they've been just so great. Every time I do anything, they're
Okay.
always there to give me advice and tell me the best techniques and the best materials to use. And so I've always tried to do that for any other puppeteer that's coming up under me, because that's really the only great way to learn.
Yeah. I mean, I heard about the Puppetzilla that they had recently, where you mentored a pretty weird dude by the name of Sherwin. I
He
think
was a
he did
pretty
carry
weird
on.
dude, but it was a really fun project.
Yeah, he bragged a lot about that. He didn't stop talking about it.
Excited.
Yeah,
It
he
was
was
such a
cool.
great slam piece.
It was.
And I
I
think
was like,
puppet
go
slams are
on.
the best way to learn how to make puppets and put together a puppet show, because it's just, 5 minutes long, give or
Yeah.
take. So you just get really good at coming up with a story that is beginning, middle, end. And because the stakes are pretty low, you can really take chances with your work and just say, oh, in this slam, I really want to try this kind of puppet that I've never done before. And, 5 minutes long, go for it. No one's
Yeah.
going to hate it. It's terrible because it's too
Mm,
short to suck.
it is. It is. Actually, everyone did pretty well. And I mean, a lot of us for the first time, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I was really amazed at the quality of the work.
yeah. Um, so I know you did some costume work for Henson.
Yep, when I'm working there, do costumes for the Sesame Street puppets. And what's really fun about that process is that we have so much freedom when we get the scripts. It'll just say something like Grover is wearing a dinosaur costume. And Jason Weber, the shop manager or the project manager, he'll just kind of give us free reign, and we'll come to him with pictures and we'll say, this is kind of the dinosaur that I want to make, and these I think are the fabrics that I want to use. And everybody that works there is just a great designer with a great sense of humor, so we get to put in all these visual gags that aren't in the script at all. um, so like, we can put in little silly designs. And I got to make an alien costume for Bert and did a little alien hat that still had his same unibrow. So we
Oh,
really get to play a lot.
and
It's super
that's
fun.
something I think it's why puppetry is such a fun thing, huh? There's so much you can do besides just actually being a puppeteer.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's so collaborative and everybody brings their A game and is able to add gags. So it's in the writing, it's in the puppets themselves, it's in the costumes, and then after that, it's in the performances. So there's just so many different elements where people can kind of plus it up, you know?
Yeah. So I looked at some of your old stuff, and I particularly loved the "I Want Candy" skit. I love it. That was a pretty awesome song. Too bad for that
That one
pinata hit.
actually, that was one of my very first Puppet Slam pieces. I did that up at the O'Neill Puppetry Conference, which I really recommend. It was an amazing experience where it's a huge mix of beginning puppeteers and real puppeteers kind of all working together on different projects. So I got to develop that slam there. And that was even before I was writing much. So I didn't have any dialogue in it. It was just to the song, I Want Candy. And it's the story of a little boy at a birthday party who starts chasing a birthday pinata because he's trying to get the candy out of it. And then things take a turn for the worst, and he ends up basically destroying this pinata with a hammer, but instead
Poor
of
guy.
candy flying out, it's just a
Pinata.
bunch of guts, and he starts
Yeah.
screaming.
That's crazy, but it's crazy good.
It was a lot of fun.
It is. It is a
And
lot of fun.
Marty Robinson was my mentor for that project also.
Oh,
So he helped me. He likes things dark and
yeah.
hilarious too.
Yeah, I
So
can.
he helped me make the guts look as
Oh,
good and gruesome as
really
possible.
gutsy. Yeah,
Yep.
that's crazy. So mentorship in puppetry is something that's been around a long time, huh?
Yeah. And that's, really part of the reason I got into puppetry in the first place is that the community, I think, is very special. Everybody is just so excited to share their knowledge and to bring in new puppeteers, to teach them everything that they know, to learn from them. And really, we're just kind of all playing together. And it's just special. And I, anytime I meet somebody that is even just kind of puppet adjacent, I try to get them into the community. Like, oh, you perform. Have you ever thought about this? Because it's so much fun. Come hang out with me. Come build with me.
I think
And part of the reason is like you can't really make puppet shows on your own, or you can, but it's just a
it's
lot of
really
work. And
hard. It's really hard.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
I think the weird guy that follows you around knows how hard it is to do puppets on
yeah,
your own.
he's a little lazy, you know. He complains a lot.
Oh, complaining is part of it.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
he's
complaining
a
is
little
part of
whiny.
puppetry.
Yeah. But I mean, here, in Trinidad, there's not a lot going on for puppetry. So I mean, with our intervention, I hope that we spark some, you know, young people who want to be puppeteers or get into the business. Yeah, because it's pretty fun. A lot,
Yeah.
yeah, and there's a lot to learn. Yeah,
Yeah. And you learn so much just from doing it, even if everybody gets together and no one knows what they're doing. You just try things out and you kind of figure it out on your feet.
yeah,
And it's amazing how great the mistakes can turn out. Like you think something's not going to work and you try it, and it just has this life and authenticity to it. So, even if you are mostly working alone, just grab whoever is willing and get them to play
yeah,
along.
yeah, and maybe they'll like it. Maybe they will. Yeah.
They usually
So
do.
they usually do. I think there's a nice lady who helps that silly guy, and I think she likes it a lot now. Yeah, that Puppet Slam was her first, and she did pretty well.
She did an amazing job.
With all the supporting characters.
So definitely,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's awesome.
So rope her in as much as you possibly
I,
can.
we tried. He's the cameraman right now. Yeah. I know you do a lot of writing. I saw some of your writing workshops, which were pretty cool. Um, what's that like? That collaborative effort?
I love the writing aspect of it. And especially recently, I've been doing a lot more cooking. Right now, I'm writing for a new Marvel cartoon that's going to be on the Disney Channel called Moon Girl and Devil Diner. And what's fun about that is
Yeah, I gotta check on
our
something.
writer's room is, yep.
Continue. You can go. You can go. I'm just checking on something.
All right. Sounds good. So that room is 6 people, and we work together. Someone will pitch an idea and kind of give like the loose idea of what they think the beginning story is. And then we'll all just work together and bounce ideas off each other to flesh it out. People will pitch jokes if they have something, like, oh, what if we just have this really quick moment where this character does this? So it's just, again, really lively, really a lot of improv, kind of playing off each other, a lot of yes-anding. And then when we get to scripts, people go off to write on their own. But then after a table read, which are also just a ton of fun, all the writers will get a chance to do a punch-up pass. So we'll put in like extra jokes where, or alts for jokes, like, oh, you've got something good here, but here are a couple other options, so that when the voice actor is in there, like, they can try a bunch of stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
So again, it's a really fun collaborative way to be a storyteller.
Yeah. I mean, I know you did a lot of coaching with the writing on just that 5 minute piece called Smile that you worked on for Puppetzilla. That was a lot of work for 5 minutes. It was intense. There was
I
a
know,
lot of
it's
back and forth.
amazing how much work can go into a short piece.
I wanted to be the star though. They didn't let me.
You can be in the next one.
I'll try. Maybe I'll cast better. Wanted
You'll
to
be
be
a
the new
star.
Batman. Aww. I wanted to be the new Batman, but they decided to go with that Patterson guy. I think I do better. I'm Batman.
But if you're going to be Batman, you can't tell anybody that you're Batman.
But why?
That's
You'll never
part
suspect.
of being Batman.
I'm Batwheel.
All you need is a mask and a dream.
A mask and dream. A lot of us have
Yep.
masks right now.
So all you need now is
Yeah,
the dream
it's
then.
just a
You're
dream.
halfway there.
That's right. Yeah. All I need is a dream. So, so it's Henson, Sesame Street, and now Marvel. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I've been very lucky in
Yeah.
the jobs that I've had.
What's it like moving from puppetry to animation, though?
Uh, it's been really fun, and it's definitely like a new playground, a new toolbox. But it is really similar because a lot of it is just visual storytelling, like with regular human actors, they can kind of just stand there, but that is horrible to look at when it's puppets, and it's horrible to look at in animation. So you always have
Yeah.
to kind of think you compose it in the script, just like what do we think is going on. But then it's the same kind of collaborative effort where the animators will come up with stuff that you had never dreamed of. I
Mm-hmm.
got to see the animatic of my first Moon Girl episode, and
Yeah.
they just added this entire sequence that wasn't in the script really, and they just kind of went off and did this crazy thing. And it just made me laugh so hard, and it was so exciting. Um, but also, there are different rules, and you have to keep things in mind the same way that you do when you're writing what
Yeah.
everything is capable of, because some things get really expensive. Like when you're writing for puppets, you can't just have a character grab a pair of scissors, cut a sheet of paper, put down the scissors, and go about their business. Like
Yeah.
most puppets, unless it's a live hand, they just can't do that. And yeah, I mean, you can make it work, but it's
I
expensive
can
and it takes
try.
time.
I can try to cut paper. Not really.
You might hurt yourself.
Or I might. I might.
Yeah, just get someone
I
else
know.
to do it if it's that
Yeah.
necessary.
Yeah. I know the old saying goes, anything can happen in animation as long as you have the budget, right?
That's the thing, is the budget. And but also, like, you have to consider, what's going to stay in frame together. Like if you have a small human character and a giant dinosaur, and the giant dinosaur only has tiny little hands, you really do have to consider like what the shot is going to be.
Yeah.
They can't just high five. It doesn't work. So it's just a lot of different thinking skills and kind of keeping the world in mind.
Yeah.
And then there's stuff that's really expensive that you would never think of as being expensive. Like, oh, I want things to be rainy, or I want a little fireball. Like, those things are really expensive. Or I want this character to wear a hat.
Oh, because then you have to wear a hat in different scenes, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's expensive to put a
Yeah.
hat on a character and keep it moving around.
I don't know if I can even wear a hat. Do I have a hat?
I think you I think you have the
I
face
don't have a
shape
hat.
for it, but you
Ooh.
will have to stitch it onto your head.
Aww.
That's
Okay.
another
Yeah.
puppet secret, is
And
you
there's
still
another.
gotta strap it, you still gotta pin it or stitch it onto your head. The strap's not
Aww.
gonna be enough, I promise you.
That's gonna hurt though.
Yep.
And
I think it probably tickles, but if you
aw,
have a good puppet wrangler, it shouldn't hurt too much.
have you ever been a wrangler?
Yeah, I
Oh,
actually
what's that like?
was a wrangler on Sesame Street for a couple years. It's honestly one of my favorite jobs in puppetry. For
I can only
people, the
imagine.
wrangler is kind of the support crew on set. Like, we're the ones that put the puppets in costumes. We rig all the props for the puppets. And we just kind of do continuity and help take care of the puppeteers. We're the pit crew.
Yeah.
And what's so much fun about it is that it's just really high speed problem solving. Like, oh, this puppet has to pick up this box and then move it over here, but the box keeps getting knocked over. So how do we solve that problem? And we only have, 30 seconds before they need to get their shot. I know it doesn't seem complicated, but it
No, it is.
really is high adrenaline.
Like Matt Vogel's story about dropping gum on a goat.
Like, what?
Matt Vogel recently told a story about dropping gum on a goat for Elmo Goes to Grouchland, and the Wrangler had to get it off before the scene. Yeah, that's intense.
It is intense. And
Yeah.
yeah, there's always weird stories like that. We did a shoot at
Mm-hmm,
the
mm-hmm.
zoo where an ostrich started to bite at a puppet
Wow.
uh,
I'm afraid of ostriches.
while the while the puppeteer was still in it. So that was exciting. I was 100% sure I was going to be fired that day.
Oh my.
Um, was not.
That's not good though.
Spoiler alert, but no, it was very stressful because puppets are very
It is.
expensive.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Thousands
They are.
and thousands of dollars. But so much work goes into them. For all
Yeah.
the Sesame
There's a
Street
lot of work.
puppets, like things are, yeah, all the fur is individually dyed and treated. And just there's so much attention to detail. Uh, the feathers for Big Bird, like those feathers, they're dyed specially, but then they also split the quill so that the feather isn't stiff, so
Oh.
it'll move gently when he walks around.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
just so many little details like that that just
Mm-hmm.
take hours and hours to achieve.
But it's fun, right?
It
Saying
really
all this.
is. Every
It
aspect of
is.
it is.
Uh-huh. So, Liz, what do you have to say to all
Yeah.
the aspiring puppeteers out there? Or wranglers?
uh that puppetry is a viable career. You can do it. You absolutely can. People do. And just keep playing and keep pushing yourself to learn and make your own content, get your friends involved, and just basically believe that you can do it. It's worth it.
Yeah. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah. And
I
reach
think you
out to
guys have.
others and share the knowledge that you have with other people too. Be generous.
Aw, that's nice of you, Liz. So nice. We're running out of time now, Liz. So I think if that's it, we can maybe leave on a good note, huh?
Sounds great. And
Aw,
thank you so much for having me.
it was a pleasure
I'm
to
so
have you, Liz.
excited to be your first interview.
Yeah, thanks for all your patience, and hopefully we'll do another one soon.
Yes, please. Now that we've mastered all the technology, I
Yeah.
can't wait to watch
Aw,
it.
thanks a lot, Liz. We'll see you soon.
Thank you. See you.
Bye.
Bye.